The opening of Kirkcudbright Creamery, October 1921. The handsome, up-to-date creamery, erected by the Stewart Dairy Association Limited on a piece of land at the west end of Kirkcudbright Bridge, was formally opened by Lady Hopetoun Bar of St Mary's Isle on Friday afternoon. The function, which was of considerable interest to the town of Kirkcudbright and district, was attended by a large company of agriculturists. The ceremony took place at the main entrance to the building, which is close to the Kirkcudbright Gatehouse Road, within a short distance of the Dee, and with about 5 minutes' walk of the railway station. The site on Kirkcudbright Farm was granted by Sir Charles Hopetoun Bar of St Mary's Isle. It is an admirable one in every respect, and will be well served by both road and rail, as well as by river if need be. The creamery is under the management of Mr James K. Murdoch, late Assistant Manager, United Creameries, Dunragit; Captain F. J. Turner, Costraman, factor on the Cali estate, and one of the prime movers in a project which is calculated to do much good, not only to the shareholders but also to the district. They were accompanied on the platform by Lady Hopetoun Bar, Major Wellwood Maxwell of Kirkcudbright, and Mr J. E. Milligan, Solicitor, Dalbeattie, Chairman and Secretary of the Dalbeattie Creamery Company, and Messrs H. G. Baird Kilchrist, Robert Austin Ingleston, Twynham, Robert Armstrong Little John Gatehouse, James Pickett Milton, D. Y. Veach Portville, Gatehouse members of committee with Mr A. Laurie Union Bank Gatehouse, Secretary to the Association, and Mr Alexander Mayer, Portland Estate Office, Kilmarnock, the architect. As long ago as December 1919, a meeting was convened in Gatehouse for the purpose of considering the question whether a cooperative creamery should be erected, so that the farmers in general might reap the full benefit of their labour and do without the middleman. The meeting in December 1919 was well attended, and the matter was enthusiastically taken up. At first it was their intention to erect the creamery at Tarf, on the site which Mr Montgomery Nielsen of Queen's Hill very kindly offered to give them for nothing. For various reasons, which he did not require to go into that day, the site was found unsuitable, and the Committee of Management approached Sir Charles Hopetoun Bar and found in him every bit as good a friend as Mr Nielsen would have been. Sir Charles gave them the site extending to 2.5 acres at a most reasonable rate, and they now saw the result of the committee's labours. The work on the creamery was started last February, and consequently, he thought, though they had been severely censured as a committee for the delay in starting, that once started they got a move on. It might be of interest to them to know that the creamery alone had cost up to £9,600. It was a lot of money, but at the same time they hoped that within a year or two it would be money well spent. They had a membership of 120. Within a month or two, piggeries would be erected. Pigs would not only be a valuable byproduct, so to speak, but would provide a means of getting rid of hay. The creamery was then opened by Lady Hopetoun Bar, who made a short speech, as did several other dignitaries. The building is of 2 stories and has been designed chiefly with a view to economical working. The principal entrance to the creamery is from the roadway, which has been formed on the front of the building, where ample space has been provided for carts or motors delivering milk. This roadway is laid at such a gradient as to permit the milk being taken from the receiving platform into the milk receiving room, where it is weighed, discharged into the receiving vats, and thereafter passes by gravity over the milk warmer, thence through a centrifugal milk cleaner and onto the milk cooler, be run into cans or cheese making vats on the ground floor level. In the milk receiving room is also placed the steam German milk tester and the necessary washing and steaming tanks. Directly adjoining the receiving room, the office is placed, and in such a position as to permit of complete supervision on both floors of the building. The remainder of the upper floor is utilised as a cheese storeroom and provides accommodation for over 2,000 cheeses, partly on cheese turners and partly on plain shelving. The stair connecting with the ground floor passes from the milk receiving room into the general purpose room on the ground floor. In this room, the principal one in the building, accommodation is provided for 8 large cheese making vats, as well as other appliances for dealing with the mill. At the other end of the general purpose room is situated the cheese press room, having a hoist connecting with the cheese store room above, and at the other end directly in front of the milk receiving room above, the milk warmer and cleaner are placed on a raised platform, and in front of this again the milk cooler. Under the milk receiving room, the can washing room and boiler house etc. are placed in a one-storey wing to the rear of the main building, thus lessening the danger of fire and permitting of steam in the can washing room to be readily removed. The drainage from the creamery is carried out in accordance with the latest practice in sanitation, the effluent being treated in a septic tank before being passed into the River Dee, thus ensuring no possible danger of pollution.